Okay, how we doing, future Joshua? Okay. Let me swap this over. Shit, which one? That one? Should be right. Okay, friends. Hello. I hope you've had a wonderful day. My day has been pretty good. Thank you for asking. Cheers, everyone. Link. Tonight we are back in Dead Island 2. It's our first playthrough. I think it's still our first week, right? We've just left the first place and gone to Beverly Hills and met a rock star, like a legit in-universe rock star, which was cool. Very Lemmy-esque. But this is our character Danny, the Irish goddess. We are, story-wise, what's happened? Zombie apocalypse happened in LA, and I assume the rest of the world, given that the first game was set in, like, Australia. But it's happened here in Helle, as they're calling it, which is pretty good pun. And we got bitten, but so far it's been like a week or so, and we haven't turned. So the assumption is that we are immune. We can still die though. Just because the virus doesn't change us, we can still be devoured, among many other ways that we've died. What else has happened? I'll try and give you the super brief. Here's Lemmy. Danny, were on a plane that crashed. So we were in a plane crash. And we woke up and this famous lady called Emma Jaunt was there with her assistant Michael, who we're currently actually looking for. We're trying to track him back down because he ran off. Some dude called Ronnie, and a guy called Joshua, who you don't see very often in games. And of course he turned into a zombie in about 2 minutes. In a really gross way. He ended up being like split in half, but because he was a zombie that didn't kill him, he was still crawling along. Very gross. So thank you, whoever decided to use the name Joshua, but I just wish it wasn't so tragic. But Emma left us. She kind of ditched us. Which is how we got bitten. Anyway, it turns out we rocked up at her mansion. There was a few other survivors that we've now met. And she's not the big cheese anymore. It's still her mansion, but she's by no means the leader anymore. It's kind of giving like Triangle of Sadness vibes, if anyone's seen that film. But before I start, I do actually have some things I gotta say. That sounds really serious. It's not really serious. So two things I've written down that I need to say before I start rambling. First of all, is I guess it's also my first correction, my first oops, my whatever you want to call it. So I was talking about that I saw a Red Dead 2 remaster is in the pipeline and about to come out, which would be 60 FPS, right, on console. And turns out I misread it. It's actually Red Dead 1. They're finally doing a complete remaster of Red Dead 1, which is going to be really cool, I think. But it's like Oblivion remastered. It's cool, but I'd honestly much rather they just work on the next game, you know. So the point is that I said that, like, or that might, because I'm assuming you won't be able to transfer saves, so I don't know if I want to carry on with my playthrough while I knew that I was going to have to restart in 6 months or so. It kind of took the wind out of my sails with regards to the Red Dead 2 playthrough, because I've loved that game, but if I knew I was going to have to start again, you know what I mean. So that's not the case. So we will be back to Red Dead, if not tomorrow, definitely this weekend, because I looked and it's actually been a whole week. It's been 7 days since I've played Red Dead. Because I try to only game when I'm streaming, because it goes into the whole, like, exposure therapy. So I'm going on a ramble. I need to stay focused. Okay. And secondly, I want to say hello to Tom. I won't say your surname, but Thomas, who is my latest YouTube subscriber. He is, I assume he, I should probably just say they. They are my 103rd YouTube subscriber. And they also, not only did they subscribe, they also left a very nice comment, which I will read out when I can get it up. Hang on. I should have come prepared and had this ready as well. Okay. So they said, do long-form content in this voice, playing games, not even for just ASMR, but it will just be a chill way to watch games. Far too many people shout and scream while they game. This is much more chill. So thank you very much. I mean, I'm I'm not actively trying to do this voice. This is my voice. So I'm not, because I think my voice is maybe a bit deeper than average. I'm sure there's reasons for that. Like smoking and shouting. But this is my voice. So I'm glad you don't find it annoying, because honestly, I feel very similarly to you. I used to watch a lot of like gaming YouTubers. And then as things started leaning more towards the TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Reels, etc., and it just came about clipping those big, huge reactions, especially in something like horror, which, because before I streamed, I'd never been able to play a horror game. It was just too much. So the one thing I could do was watch people play it, much like if there's anyone watching when I play Outlast, something like that. Just switched round. And I started to fall out of love with it when it just became about who can scream the loudest, who can like flip their desk the most, who can like by accident knock their camera or knock their microphone by accident in a way that doesn't damage it, right? So I also find that, personally, I don't find that great. But everyone's allowed to be into what they're into. And I know a lot of people are into that, and a lot of people do find that entertaining, which is completely fine. But here, I'm not streaming to, like, be fun. I've spoken about, I mean, I guess you maybe don't know this, because you're brand new. It's in my bio, though. I stream, for one reason, and that is to tie in something I love, which is gaming, something I've always loved, and something I spend a lot of time doing, and something I absolutely hate doing, something that makes me super uncomfortable, super anxious. So some nights I'm too anxious to stream. Most nights lately I've been able to do it. Definitely my very first couple of weeks. Luckily, I hadn't sorted out how to back them up onto YouTube, so I'm pretty sure they're lost to the void at this point. But I didn't, because the way I stream is like, I talk to myself. I basically have a running commentary in my head going all the time. So put them together, and I just do all of it out loud. Which, I mean, there's been moments, if you're particularly averse to jump scares or anything like that, there have been jump scares in games, and I'm a human being, let alone a very, like, panicky human being. So I do jump if it's a jump scare, but I don't scream. I mean, the volume basically stays the same, which is maybe the main thing. But what you're seeing is just me. It goes all the way back to why my username is really JB. And that started when I started doing my mental health stuff. And I've thought about going for a different one since many times, but I still like it. I've had it for, a decade now. Because JB is a family nickname, I guess. That the majority of my family call me. It's not something that I've invented. It's something that's on most of my birthday cards, for example. There's more JBs than there are Josh or Joshua. And really, because it's just really, it's me. I'm not doing I don't have an agenda, or I mean, I guess I do have an agenda in the sense that I'm doing this for my exposure therapy, but I'm not doing this in like a persona or trying to be funny or entertaining. Which is, I think that's why I'm incredibly grateful for every single follower that I have, and every single comment, and every single person that pops up in the chat thing, because they're doing that not for like some well-written sentence I put together, or funny remark that I practiced in the mirror. It's literally just 100% unfiltered me. So maybe that's why I only have 28 on Twitch and 103, which does sound impressive on YouTube. But considering before I started streaming, I already had 82. I've only actually gained like 21. But so I guess if I was doing this for that reason, maybe I'd be a bit disappointed. I don't know. I don't know what timescale people kind of imagine. I don't care though. I've said it before, and I think I have it in the description of my shorts. I don't. It makes no difference to me whether there's 0 people watching and 0 people in chat, or I think the most we had 5 viewers. Granted that it only lasted for about a minute and a half, but we have technically had 5 viewers at once, which is pretty cool. And boom. Ooh, I mean, getting a bit too up close and personal there, Danny, I think. Yeah, it makes no difference to me, because for me, I will still come away from it feeling really good and feeling proud of myself for sitting for a few hours, being really uncomfortable, being majorly out of my comfort zone, and just sticking with it. Where are we going? So, a very warm welcome to you. Sorry, I kind of, as you can probably tell, let's just say it's always a challenge when I have to do the subtitles for my clips. If you could zap that one, that would be perfect. This is like a steroid zombie. Is Muscle Beach, is that in LA? That's Venice Beach, right? Trying to piece together like the few bits I know from movies and stuff. I think maybe, and like songs and stuff. Oh, boop, boop. Oh, it's a Deliveroo zombie. I guess an eat zombie. Do you know what's really annoying? You can't actually get Deliveroo where I am. Even all these later, everyone thought it would change when it first came out. It was like, okay, yeah, of course they'll start with the big cities, and then it just never changed. So I don't know what Deliveroo's like. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've seen a couple. They do have those huge, like, square backpack things. God, there's bloody tons of them. Is this why we can't get delivery where I am? Because they're all here in LA? Crikey, there's a few more than we can handle, I hate to say. And that one there. Go for the old ninja stars. I mean, I'm getting better with the blocking. When we started, I could not get the timing down at all. But I guess it's just experience, right? I'm sure. I can't really remember my first Skyrim playthrough, because it was so long ago, and it's so, like, I worked it out, and it was like months of real world time that I've spent in Skyrim, which is incredibly fucking sad. And I haven't played it for a long time. Because can you narrow it down and say, like, can anyone that likes games pick one single game as their favourite of all time? Because you gotta at least give me, like, top 3 or something, right? But however many you give me, Skyrim would be number 1. Granted, there have been objectively better games that I've played since. There's been games with more developed mechanics, better animations, you know, doing gameplay elements or story elements as well, if not better. But Skyrim for such a long time was my escape. So it's I have very, very, very strong emotional ties with it. You know, like when I first got kicked out of school because I was too depressed, I would just I wasn't on any kind of meds either, and I was on the waiting list for like child therapy. In the meantime, I would just I always call it my staring at the ceiling days, because it was probably a good year that I literally spent the whole time. I would just it was peak anhedonia, right? For anyone that knows that, I think it's ANHEDONIA. Basically, it's a depression symptom, which is fairly common, which is basically the absence of pleasure in doing stuff. And the big question they asked to one of, say, 8 questions on a basic questionnaire, right? One of them will be, I'm finding less or no pleasure in things I used to enjoy. Because that's the big thing. It's not just new stuff like, oh, you go have a pizza and the whole time you're a bit sad, and the pizza's not that great. It's like if you've had a hobby for your entire life that always has made you feel better, and suddenly it's not anymore. You just don't give a shit about it. That's anhedonia. So I would literally just spend the day staring at the ceiling and then the night waiting to fall asleep. Super, super, super dark time. Because I had no coping skills. I hadn't been through therapy at that point, right? Now I've been through like different types of therapy multiple times, like for years at a time. I know how to manage it. Then I had no idea. So one of the only things I could do was like turn my brain off by being transported to like completely immersing myself in a game, and one of the main ones was Skyrim. So I haven't played it for a long time because I think it would be great to go back to it, and I would I know so much about it. I've probably forgotten it, but I know it's probably the game I know the best. So it will be the complete opposite of all the stuff I play, really, which is like my first playthrough. Not today. This thing is lethal. Oh. Here we go. I mean, we do have the block now, which is way easier. Because the dodge, you can't hold it down. Like, you can press it to dodge, but if you hold it down, all it's going to do is dodge once. If you hold it down when you've got block equipped, then you block the whole time, so it's more forgiving. Hi, Huge. How's it going? So sorry, I was kind of in a ramble there. Can't remember how I got there, as usual. I feel like we've been here, but I don't think this is the right way. I think we're killing zombies for no reason. What's my favourite type of therapy? I mean, I've never done EMDR, because you have to do that privately. That's supposedly it's good. Everyone I know that's been through that has found it really, really, really helpful. But I am skeptical.
Monarch Studios. The hell were you going
CBT is what you go through first, at least under the NHS. I'm sure if you're private or if you're in America or somewhere, you kind of choose what you want to do, right? That's the one benefit of having to pay for it all. And so CBT is the lowest cost, maximum coverage of conditions, right? So CBT is useful for basically every kind of mental health problem, and it for some people they can do, you know, like a 12-week course of CBT, and that will give them the skills and the knowledge to be completely fine. For me, that was not the case. I went through CBT. 4 sessions that you have to do with a IAP service, increasing access to psychological something, which is basically you just speak to someone on the phone. They don't know anything about you. You don't know anything about them. They just go through your symptoms. Like, it's more just answering background info. And then they refer you to wherever you are, your local areas, community. Well, it would be CAMS if you're a kid, child and adolescent mental health services, but it will be CMHT for adults, which is community mental health team. And you then do CBT for as long as you're under them, which NHS, everything comes down to money and saving money. So no one gets as many as they want. People get discharged all the time when they shouldn't be. It's one of the many things that I've done campaigning for. But you can kind of just carry on doing that for a while. I carried on doing CBT for, I don't know, 5 years, constantly. But for some things, like personality disorders and like treatment-resistant depression, especially if you're going to say like borderline or bipolar, which I've never been officially diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Because at least at the time when I was this age, I was 17 and they couldn't diagnose it in children, they can only diagnose it in adults. So they diagnosed me with one of the many things was borderline personality disorder-like symptoms. That's how they phrased it. But that something that's really good for that is DBT, which is dialectical behavioural therapy. And that was way more helpful for me. CBT is all about kind of explaining, right? Explaining why the body does. Say in the case of anxiety, right? I'll stick to that because that's the main thing I talk about because it's related to my streaming. CBT would help you to see the relationship between like your fight and flight system, your brain's interpretations of stuff, the reaction it's having in your body. Like it's very much about just joining the dots and piecing together like, okay, so I went outside into a crowd of people and I wasn't expecting that. That made me more anxious because there was more people I thought might be looking at me, for example. That then I could feel my heart start to race, and before I knew it, I was having a panic attack and couldn't breathe, right? CBT, they would explain to you that logic, like, well, the trigger was you were in that situation, which raised your anxiety levels. Then your amygdala and your fight or flight response kicked in, and you started sweating, you started feeling more uncomfortable, and it became a vicious circle between your behavior, your emotions, because then you're feeling anxious, and then you're looking around and you're thinking, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. Then you start freaking out more, so then you think even more so that people are staring at you. And it's, yeah. So it's mainly about like making connections, I guess, and talking things through logically, which is fine, you know. So everyone goes through that. But because I'd been into, I'd had to go to hospital via ambulance a few times, and my depression was still depressioning, my anxiety was still anxietying. It wasn't, regardless of multiple different medications, different combinations of those medications, different dosages of those medications. It was none of them made any difference. They just added varying side effects. Oh shit, what was that? Didn't know we could do that, whatever that was. Then they decided, okay, well, we're probably going to save money if we just send this kid to DBT, and maybe that will sort him out and he can stop draining our funds. DBT I found so much more helpful. It's the last type of therapy I've done. And it's more about, I used to know this stuff inside out. DBT has a couple of, what would you call it? Like pillars, I guess. Like core principles. I think there's 4, but I might be wrong. There's... Jesus. Here we go. We're trying to talk therapy. So there's... Shit, what is that? There's interpersonal effectiveness, which, for me personally, was never really the issue. Interpersonal effectiveness is all about communication, right? So if you've got a serious anger problem and you don't know how to be criticised or hear bad news, or kind of the opposite, if you're incredibly meek and that's in the game, and passive, and you let everyone walk over you, interpersonal effectiveness would teach you about how to be more confident and assertive. So it's all about, like, that for me wasn't that important. It was important, but it wasn't, I didn't really get any benefit from that other than just a bit of practice during some workshops and stuff. But for a lot of people, that right there is really helpful. Learning how to, like, voice your opinions, accept other people's opinions, but be confident enough to voice your own, all that kind of stuff. I mean, effectiveness between people, that's literally the name. Then there was, what was it? Resilience. There's emotional regulation, which that for me was quite helpful. That was maybe the most helpful. That section of DBT is about, funnily enough, how to regulate your emotions. Because, again, that's where I learnt most of my coping skills, and where we really dug deep into that whole side of things, whether it's daily symptoms, crisis management if things get particularly bad, like worst case scenarios, all sorts of stuff. So it's something radical acceptance. that's another one of the four pillars. Radical, I think it might actually be radical self-acceptance. That, oh my gosh, that might be tied actually for having the most effect on me. That whole deal is all about, because CBT is kind of picking apart the problems, the symptoms, what's triggering them, understanding them, that sort of thing. All with the goal of getting better, right? I guess you could say the alleviation of symptoms. Radical self-acceptance kind of says, fuck that. Because if you're doing DBT, then CBT alone hasn't worked for you. So, yeah, you can change and you can become a better person, but you also need to accept yourself for who you are and love yourself regardless of how your day's gone, how you feel you've done, whatever else. So that's more about the kind of the self-esteem and that side of things, which I've mentioned. I still do have very low self-esteem, but growing up my self-esteem was literally non-existent. So that I found that quite helpful. I think that's maybe the thing during that section. That's maybe when I thought about like seriously doing mental health stuff. Because I was like, well, shit, if we're doing this, that's because I'm going to have to be living with this for a long time, if not ever, forever. I mean, so it's going to be a part of your life. You might as well just kind of accept it. You can still want to get better and you can still try and get better, but it's okay to just do your best. Your best is good enough. That's the kind of shit you learn there. And I think I'm missing one. But the emotional regulation stuff, that helped. I don't know if I've spoken about my tattoos. I guess if you didn't know, I have 16 tattoos. Don't know. Planning to get more, but I haven't actually got a new one in at least before the lockdown, so like 5 years now. One of the main reasons, the reason I got my first one was something incredibly meaningful to me that I don't think I've ever told anyone. I don't know, I might have rambled about it on stream, I don't know. I lose track of what I've vented about. But all the others were mainly just to cover up many little I don't know how much I can say on here without like getting the stream flagged. My arms were very it was tough explaining it to people on the bus, right? When the little kid goes, "Mummy, why's that man got cuts all over him?" Like that's not fun overhearing that. So I have tattoos to cover them all up. Some of them, because most of them have kind of faded. They're still visible, but they're not like bumpy anymore. But there's still a few from particular like tough times that were considerably worse and have therefore still got a big ass bump and are still visible even with the tattoos. But my wonderful, amazing tattoo artist, the first four actually. The first four were all from different people. But my fifth, and then everyone since then, has all been from the same person. And when I get more, it will be with her. She did some really amazing work blending the designs with the scars that couldn't be covered, and tattooing. Some tattoo artists really don't like to tattoo over scars. It's a lot more accepted now, but there's still a lot of tattoo artists that flat out refuse, because they know there's more risk of it blowing out and not healing right or whatever else. But most, I'd like to think most nowadays can work with it at least. The acid did basically all the work there for us. Result. I'm sure this absolutely stinks though, Jesus Christ. So that for me, I would hurt myself in that way basically every night for at least 5 years.
Hello.
Because it was one of my coping skills. And it was at the point where, like, I'd been told officially, like, from the hospital or from, like, a psychiatrist, it's cool to do that if it's the alternative to fully, like, dying, right? It's not great, but it's better than dying completely. But it's still not good, right? Obviously. In case it's not obvious, please don't hurt yourself, anyone that's watching. And I don't count it anymore. I count my drinking more than that. But for a long time, that was a problem. So I think the emotional regulation bit of DBT probably was the thing that helped me stop doing that. I'm not sure. But it's to get back to your question after Jesus Christ, God knows how long. I would say DBT, but if it wasn't for CBT, I wouldn't have been able to get what I got. CBT is like laying the groundwork, and then for some people that's enough. For me it wasn't, so I had to also do DBT. I highly recommend therapy to everyone though. Everyone. I mean, I've never paid for therapy. I've always been bad enough that I've either been on a waiting list or been given therapy by the National Health Service. So I know for some people they get to be more selective and they get to choose not just types of therapy but therapists. When you're with the NHS, people can leave unexpectedly. I cannot tell you how heartbreaking it is to be a 16-year-old opening up to the first person you have ever in your entire life, telling them things that you've never told anyone since. And then one day they just, it's like, oh yeah, they moved to, I don't know, Liverpool. Okay. And then you're just expected to jump straight back in with some complete random person you've never seen before. That's, but if I was in America, I wouldn't have the money to pay out of pocket for therapy. And if that was the case, I'm pretty sure I'd be well dead by now, honestly. And like I'm at a point now where I'm still, oh Jesus Christ. I am still very much struggling with depression and anxiety every day, but I know how to handle the tough bits. I know that I've handled the tough bits before, so I'm a depression ninja at this point. So I am no longer like trying to not be around. Defo not cured or whatever the fuck. Which again, shout out to DBT, because for a long time that's another source of what would it be? Guilt, shame probably. That you haven't cured yourself yet, and it must be because you're not trying hard enough, right? That's a huge thing, because everyone's mental health is different and symptoms affect everyone differently. So you see other people like getting over their issues, and it's like, fuck, I must just be not trying hard enough. It's my fault. So then that's another source of here we go. Perfect. Yeah, that's another source of like self-hatred. I don't know however you want to phrase it. But if anyone is ever struggling, then talk to someone. I feel like I don't need to go through that, right? I don't need to talk about the super basic stuff. I feel like if you're watching this, if you're a future person watching this, you know me at this point. I think it's fairly obvious I'm anti-suicide, right? Oh, here we go. What can we do here? Didn't we just get some kind of firework or something? Group therapy. God, that's... Yeah, so DBT I did in group therapy. It was a fucking nightmare. Oh my God. For someone that's doing it for social anxiety as one of the things, doing it in a group setting is not good. Okay, I might go robot-y for a second. So I'll do this and then I'll start rambling again. Okay, I think we're back. And I don't think we're robot-y. Yeah, we're back, we're back. But yeah, so that's therapy. It's weird. Especially CBT, so much of it is just ingrained now that it's kind of hard to think of like the specific moments and like key, because so much of it is about building on itself, like so because I don't think if I went straight to DBT, I don't think it would have made much sense. I don't think I'd have the awareness. Maybe that would be the word. I don't know. And I guess maybe I wouldn't have the confidence either, because CBT, it was incredibly frustrating for me. Because so much of the time it felt like we were just doing basic stuff that isn't going to have any effect. It's just ticking off boxes, which again on the NHS a lot of it is just like them saying, okay, now go download this free worksheet from some guy and print it out at home and fill it out and see what you think. But I don't think I'd have the like, not the knowledge, but just the, I don't know, the understanding. Is there a difference between knowledge and understanding? I don't know. If there is, I feel like that will be it. But I know therapy for everyone's different. Oh, and oh, of course, the fourth tenant. What's the word? Staple, like key principle, whatever, is mindfulness. Of course, I forgot about mindfulness because it's my least favourite. Mindfulness. They love suggesting mindfulness. Mindfulness is the new... Mindfulness, I guess, you could describe as the woke equivalent of, have you tried having a cup of tea? Like, because that... by which I mean, not to generalise, but in general, older people with more reserved attitudes would respond to someone that's opening up about their mental health with, oh, have you had a cup of tea? Oh, have you had a nice bath? You'll feel better after a bath. Or maybe you should try smiling more. Just try smiling more. It might help. Like, it's the equivalent of that. It's like, oh, I don't actually want to engage, so let's just say, or have you tried mindfulness? Have you tried doing a bit of breathing? Which, granted, is helpful in some situations, but also not in others at all. We don't have any quests, I don't think. I'm majorly not engaged with the game right now. You got me talking about therapy. I did, if anyone's curious about DBT after I was rambling about it, Oh, and did I mention distress tolerance? Can't remember if I mentioned distress tolerance, because that's a really important part. Which is basically about just increasing your capability to handle shit. I'm sure that's not how a licensed psychotherapist would describe it. I think it's how I'd describe it, though. But if anyone wants to know an answer to anything about DBT, I think it might have been the last YouTube video I made before I completely abandoned it. And now I just back up these live ones and post shorts there. But I did a video, I don't know how long it was, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's not like the live streams that are like hours and hours, because I edited it and everything. And I talked all about DBT, and I'm pretty sure that's when I was still going through DBT before I got discharged. So I'm sure if you want an actual explanation, if you actually want to learn what DBT is, watch that.
That's not gonna open.
Can we not use our muscles? So this is like a film studio, which I think is going to be super cool. I'm assuming they're not going to have like, oh yeah, this is the Iron Man 3 set. It's going to be in-universe spoofs or whatever. Generic science fiction movie set, something like that. I should say as well, I don't think I actually said what we're trying to do. We're here looking for Michael, which is Emma's assistant. And I can hear someone come and say hello. Someone coming to join the stream. We've actually got a fair few weapons now. And yet I'm still doing the same thing of just, oh god, our hands barely clinging on. That is grim. Using our worst weapon so that we're saving the good ones. But at this point, they're all good ones, apart from the one we're using. Yeah, Michael is Emma's assistant. Emma being I think she was a movie star or something. The lady whose mansion all the survivors are in. Her assistant is Michael. And Michael ran off to, I believe, to check on someone he knew. Sister or someone. And has since disappeared. And I guess last time we played this, we tracked him down to Monarch Studios. I don't remember the circumstances. But that's... If you're looking in the corner and it's saying, find Michael, and you're like, who the fuck is Michael? That's Michael. And this thing still kind of slaps, even though it's our worst weapon. Still, it's very crunchy. This is well creepy with all these trailers here. Of course, it had to be nighttime. It's so much scarier when it's a bit claustrophobic. Not today. Oh, that was close. Rise of the God Spider. Ooh, that sounds like a schlocky B-movie, like an Anaconda kind of thing. So what have we got? We got a sledgehammer. That seems like it would be pretty damn useful. Got loads of these like pole saw. I should probably try them before spending the resources to upgrade them. But what are we going to go for? Heavy attacks, always the heavy attacks one. Or we can do a second. I don't know. I suppose that one, because we're already going to have a lot of force, it being a sledgehammer and all. I don't know. I've never even used those weapons. I don't know what they're going to be good at. I guess we could maybe give it a shot. Ooh. Crumbs. Bloody hell. Wow, that certainly got rid of the zombie. That is very nice. So, we've got... We've got an electric one. We've got a bleed one. Got another electric one. Another bleed. Oh god, I need to sort these out, I think. I don't know what's the difference between a zombie sword, pole saw, and a whispering blade. They all look the same to me. A big ass scoop of peanut butter. Crunchy or smooth? Because if you're having it by itself, then crunchy would... I would argue crunchy would be better. Pole saw. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. Little stabby stab. Oh, that's very nice. We might have to upgrade that one. Was that this one? I think. So I suppose we'll do the same. That one. Oh, we got no scrap. Oh. Yeah, we can't. Oh, sugar. Okie dokie. Smooth. Ooh. Is it like what I would call fancy peanut butter, where it doesn't have whatever chemical in it, so you have to like mix it? Because honestly, I don't like those as much. I will take a cheap, full of chemicals, like, I mean, I'm assuming it's still made of peanuts, but it's got a lot of other stuff in there. I'll take that any day. It's peanut butter. I'm not having it because it's healthy. I'm having it because it's peanut butter. Claymore. Oh, God, we're getting proper, like, swords now. They definitely heard me when I complained that all we were getting was, like, the improvised, oh, it's a bit of steel pipe or whatever. Butter the bitch. Here we go. Oh, we got some voice acting time. The natural kind doesn't hit the same. Exactly. I did have one once that was nice, but I don't know. I'm sure they are a lot healthier. But yeah, like I said, I'm not having peanut butter because it's healthy. I did try Skippy. Skippy is probably the best. Here, Skippy is, it will be in the American aisle for like, it's more expensive than like a super fancy organic. It's just peanuts and a little bit of salt or whatever the fuck it is. But Skippy is good. Okay, okay. How much is it there? So for not for like a big one, for like this the smallest size, we'd be talking, I don't know, about £7. Which, granted, like branded peanut butter is one of the many things that's gotten way more expensive. But oh my god, it might be cheaper here then. Hey bro, operation's good. She's definitely opening up. That Wong charm is doing its thing. Yeah, that's enough of that. But I still got to be careful not to push. Found out she likes tennis, so I just happened to run into her at the club. Getting a little bit stalkery here. Made sure to let her win. I've mentioned the script and how much oh, I see. How much an endorsement from the great Emma Jaunt. That's Emma. But just super low-key, you know, plant the seed. Another week of buttering her up, and I'll see if I can get her to make a few calls for us. I can taste that EP credit, bro, and then we're set. Talk soon. Keep working things your end. Vern. Oh yeah, I saw he's just, it came up breaking news. I mean, funnily enough, it was a BBC News app notification that told me that he's trying now to sue the BBC for $1 billion, which I think everyone here finds absolutely hilarious, because the BBC is the only channel that isn't like a for-profit corporation. The BBC is like a publicly owned. It's the British Broadcasting Corporation. It's like any other radio station, for example, has adverts. Any other TV channel has adverts. But BBC Radio or BBC TV shows, TV channels, no adverts, because they're not doing it for profit. They're not trying to get money from advertisers. So because of that, the BBC is the most impartial, because it's funded by the public, right? So it's the most transparent, it's the most unbiased. Like any hint of anything like that, and there's a full-on public inquiry, because it's public money. All the other, you could argue the other news corporations, whether it's ITV, Sky News, Channel 4 News, whatever, they are all a corporation. They are a company trying to make money. So even if you eliminate bias at every other point, by its very nature, it is trying to earn money. So there's always going to be a bit of bias. Whereas the BBC, that by its very nature, it has no bias. It's held accountable for everything. So the fact that the orange man is now like, yeah, I'm gonna try and. It's basically like he said, I'm gonna try and sue the British public for $1 billion, because they said something I didn't like, and I can't just make them. That is, it's not gonna go well.
I'm sure a member of staff will let me in. I am, after all, a VIP.
So for us here, that's one of the many things that he's said. Like when he said at one point he was gonna like annex Wales or something. All kinds of shit, and it's just like the crazy ramblings of your local lunatic. Space Fox official merchandise. Ooh, so I guess they were selling like merch and stuff here. This looks like a I don't know. I mean, not Star Trek, because it's more action focused. I don't like a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of vibe, maybe. I don't know. What have we got here? We got some. Is this props from set? What have we got here? Oh my god. Let's soothe the... I know. It's madness. It's just the next thing. I'm sure there's going to be something next week that's completely insane. Oh my god. Kyan is on his feet, bleeding from his neck, staff checking on him. Fuck you, blocked. That, like us last night with the douchebag. Literally shaken right now. Just saw someone die, and Kyan Clark has been attacked at a signing. They shot him, he broke free. He's insane, he bit a guy trying to pin him down. Security got him. Guy in front just leapt the table and is attacking him. What the fuck, no. People starting to get their photos and signatures now. And someone's in full body paint. They're in full costume. They look great. They're here. There's a guy in front who looks like death. Said he wouldn't miss this for the world. Dicks like him are why we get con flu. Got some cute merch. Okay, so that actually wasn't that exciting. I was going to play Soma again tonight. Because Walking Dead has its hooks. Has hooked me with its story. And Soma has intrigued me. And I think is going to hook me with its story. But honestly, I didn't want to go for a game that I would be thinking too much tonight. I just wanted to not be thinking and like slowed down and pondering choices. Just wanted to get in, because sometimes I'm not in the mood for that, and I know if I tried playing it, I'd just get frustrated to the point that I'd bail, which is obviously not the goal of exposure therapy. That's kind of what you're trying not to do. To regain stamina. Knock him down. That seems useless. Ooh, that seems maybe kind of useful. I might give this one a try. And then what was the... I completely forgot that I had to do this. Didn't we get a new throwable thing? Here we go. It will explode. Here we go. That's a bit better than the meat bait. The vial of anonymous stinky flesh. So hungry, this is torture. Honestly, I could defo eat right now. I've said every day for about the last week, "Ooh, I really fancy chocolate brownies today. I'll do that," and then the day's over. It gets dark by like 4 o'clock. So before I know it, it's like, oh shit, time to like stream. Like we're in nighttime. And that, we've got so much shit with us. I need to find a vendor or something like that. Because we've just accumulated so many of the same weapons. And I'm kind of lost here. This is a little bit freaky. I think I need to stop messing around and use some of these, right? I mean, first off, we got to use the fucking two-handed sword. Come on. Come on. Might not kill the zombies, but they're going to be a hell of a lot less scary when they're sliced to bits. Like a single hand crawling towards us. I'm guessing it's going to be... Yeah, it's quite slow to swing it, though. That's the only thing.
Keys. So good of you to find me.
But this is going to be so cool. Oh, this is going to be cool. I don't sleep much at night, but I am partial to a nap. I am partial with a nap. Partial to a nap. Which I know some people, they feel terrible when they have a little snooze. I have empty skill slots, do I? Ooh. Did we just unlock that? So we got kick and kick, so our kicks are really good. We can have a third. What? Not that one. That one might be a good shout now I've kind of got the timings a bit more down. But yeah, I wish I did the brownies today. Oh my goodness, I would love some brownies right now. I think maybe my loudest reaction is when I'm fantasizing about food. A minor boost to damage. That seems quite good if we're surrounded. I don't know what a ground pound is. Is that... Okay. So we literally just like Hulk smash. So do we have like zombie strength or something because we're immune? So I feel like not even a super jacked like bodybuilder could smash the ground. Like, and that's not just something that's really strong, right? That's a superhero if they can do that. If they, because we lit the fuel on fire, if we can punch the ground hard enough to light a puddle of petrol, we are not human anymore. At that point, you're a superhero or a supervillain. I'm getting really turned around because all these trailers look the same from the outside. And I don't know. Here, open your eyes, Joshua. There's a bloody objective marker. I should probably make the most of it because Soma doesn't have that, which I foresee as being becoming a bit of an issue. Granted, I've played it once. So I don't really know it, but I feel like that might be... I might get frustrated and a bit angsty. But it was cool though, like the story so far. I really don't know what to expect from it.
Holy Jesus.
Oh, crikey Moses. Oh yeah, wasn't it something about a god spider?
Okay, I got this. Just gotta think like a chicken. They're good at
Why
getting
am
to
I
the other
thinking
sides
like
of
a
things.
chicken? Is that supposed to be funny? I'm just... I do not get that. Because we're not trying to get across to anywhere. So what relevance did that have?
Excited
Yeah,
to try
none
the
of them
maps?
work though. Stat. Again, how does one kick do more damage than a huge, heavy attack with a claymore? Here we go. Oh, we can't throw through there. Okay. Thought I was going to be clever. This way?
Gotcha.
Here we go. Here we go. Anything else we can nick while we're here? No. Okay. I don't think there... I haven't looked through the clips from Soma. I don't think there's going to be anything good, because I feel like a lot of it was me just like looking at the same thing, trying to figure out what I hadn't clicked on. I mean, I guess towards the end it kind of got a bit interesting. Most of it though was just like trying to figure out how to get that brain scan or whatever it was. But that I don't know what to expect, which is really exciting. Where did this have to go? Over here? Here we go, here we go, here we go. You get the sword. It's playing evil music, so I'm guessing something's happened. What do we do here? Rain effects. This is like England simulator. Temple doors. Oh shit, that's cool.
Abracadabra.
Oh bloody hell, there's
Party
people.
lads.
I mean, that would have been good if they were inside. Went a smidge too early with that. Nothing a claymore can't fix, though. Oh, I should try the new throwable thing. Ooh, that's quite good. Seems better than a throwing star. Oh god, they're all like film crew people. Stabby stab. We should. I feel like we're going to get overwhelmed here, so I should probably switch to one of my really good weapons, like that sledgehammer or something. Because this guy looks mean.
Should be a way through the soundstage. Maybe I can pick up Mikey's trail on the other side.
That is a very angry man. Yeah, we're not really making much progress. think we'll switch to... I got any 9s, or are they all 10? What should we go for? I mean, it's raining, so fire damage probably isn't going to do much. Electric damage might, though. Give him a little poke. Poke. This seems more annoying than anything. Poke. Okie dokie. Jesus Christ. Well, I've just had a message, what do you call it? A super like from someone on Tinder, which I guess means that I get a notification saying they've liked me. I will give you 3 guesses what their name is. 3 guesses. I don't think you'll get it. I'm looking for two it's 2 parts. There's a first name and a second name. And I don't think there was anyone at school that had this name. Not that I can remember. So I didn't really grow up hearing this name. I don't know how it's pronounced. Let me give this a try. I think it's Hole Destroyer. Jesus Christ. And I'm a dude. I can only imagine how much worse it is if you have straight guys messaging you as well. Like...
Door leads straight back
we
to
can't,
reality. Boring.
That's a really cool effect, though. That looked very impressive when we were back there. So the spear's cool, but we need something for up close and personal. 10. Yeah, we'll go for that, I think. Ooh, it's got a little set. It's like a pair of scissors. Well, I hope everyone's had a good day. I hope your weekend's gonna be good. I will hopefully be making brownies tomorrow, although I have said that every day this week. Maybe it is somewhere in here. I don't know. Up here, maybe? No. What are we missing? Wakizashi. Another sword. We got swords for days. I was complaining that we didn't have any, like... And now we've got so many that I'm losing track of them. Where do we go now? I'm clearly missing something. What am I missing? Wish I could just kick these things down. I mean, I guess that may be a bit thick. I thought it was like cardboard. Is that? Oh no, that's a light. These sneaky, sneaky set builders. This way, maybe? I thought that was a new zombie. See, I'm getting to the point now. Honestly, I haven't been super engaged with this game tonight. I don't think, honestly, that I would have been super engaged with whatever game I played. So, it's probably a good night to have played this, right? That's why I didn't want to play Soma again tonight. I see. I'm looking for like something that we need to maybe like throw something at to knock down, like a beam for us to walk across or something. But I can guarantee when I find whatever thing we're looking for, it's going to be like a little tiny switch that I walked right past or something. Yeah, I swear we've been this way. Nothing there. We've been that way. Oh, for goodness sake, where are we going? Is that... no. Oh, here we go, here we go. Here we go. Rise of the God Spider. Another workbench. Okay, I need to sort through all my weapons. So I think I'm going to pause this for a second while I just do this, and then I'll be back. Where's the here we go. That should swap over, he says. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hello, future Joshua, hopefully. We will find out. Yes, we're back. I hope you've been enjoying the, what would you call it? Like some lo-fi beats, which is the, kind of the background music they play in this. Which I'm glad they play it quite often, because a lot of the games I've played so far on stream, like Red Dead, it has music but only in particular moments. So I think maybe it's nice, because I have no way of like playing anything in the background. So if a game has music almost constantly, then I'll take that. Do we have we must surely be about out of fuses. How are we going to get over this? I mean, I don't know. Oh, is that a shotgun pointed at us? I mean, we can try, like... But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. If anyone's just joining, I hope you've had a wonderful day. Bow staff. I've used a bow staff. We very, very, very briefly did bow staffs when I was doing karate, but it was more like a one-off. I think we had some sensei from some other part of the country that was really good with the bow staffs. He came and did like a weekend thing.
Ooh, I want to be buried in a fancy pants tomb when I die.
Where's this? So is this still the Rat King? Not Rat King, but Spider... God Spider? Is that what it was called? Ooh, bloody hell, that thing is incredible. We've definitely leveled up our zombie killing ability thanks to that. Where are you headed, mister? Hey? You're not so scary now, are you? Nothing that way. this way, right? We got to go through. So is this some sort of like Indiana Jones
Any
style?
talent scouts lurking about?
Like a
I
Tomb
think you just
Raider?
found your new leading lady.
Or is it a period piece? I'm thinking it's more like a period piece in, is it called Mesoamerica? Like Apocalypto? Yeah, there's bloody tons of them. Oh shit, we don't have any first aid kits. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There's one there. Perfect. Rise of the God Spider. Here we go. Oh my god, that sounds good. Oh ho 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 ho. I've never deep fried anything myself. So it's a bit too intimidating. Unless it's like air fried, right? I've also never air fried because I don't have an air fryer. Goodness gracious me. Okay. Interior, underground temple, night. The vast central chamber is hollowed out of the ancient rock, with towering rock pillars supporting the ceiling far above. Shadows dance from the fires spaced at regular intervals around a huge central pit that descends into utter blackness. Cultists surround the hole, drumming a powerful rhythm and chanting an unearthly melody. Kim stands with her back to a rock pillar, arms above her head, wrists manacled together to an iron peg driven into the rock. Facing Kim stands the High Priestess, the spear of Xumsax held proudly in her left hand. She savours her moment of triumph. High Priestess, if you want it done right, she leans in closely to stroke Kim's face. Send a woman. Sensuously, she unzips Kim's jacket halfway and slides her hand inside and across the contours of Kim's body. As she reaches for the inner pocket, Kim gives her an accusing look. The High Priestess just smiles, then removes her hand with the EGG, glowing with the egg. Oh, God. With the egg. Oh, my God, I can't believe I did that. Okay, with the egg. Glowing with its evil green light nestled in her palm. Sorry. That's completely thrown me. The EGG. I thought it was some kind of, like, teleport device or some shit. She squeezes it gently, watching with fascination as the glowing liquid inside sparkles with dark fire. Then she turns to the plinth in front of her with a goblet carved from black rock sat atop it. Kim stares desperately at the goblet. God, this is going forever. I know, that's what I thought it was going to be. Feels like I'm narrating some, like, smutty fanfic. The High Priestess ignores her and places the orb in the goblet. She takes powder from a small dish and sprinkles it into the goblet. The orb starts to smoke, the membrane splits, and the glowing green liquid flows out. The goblet begins to smoke. Everything's smoking at this point. That including the chemistry between Kim and the priestess. I kind of fucked that up. The The drumming intensifies. Oh, no, hang on, where did we get? The High Priestess takes the goblet in her right hand and holds it aloft. The drumming intensifies to a desperate crescendo. Green lightning comes arcing out of the shaft. Here we go, folks, here we go. And strikes the goblet, illuminating the High Priestess's delighted face. The rest of the cultists fall back in terror as huge, horribly hairy spider legs emerge from the shaft, and a terribly enormous spider rises up into the chamber. The High Priestess shouts in triumph. High Priestess. It is I who have summoned you. I, Exazalua, claim my destiny. The huge spider rears up, its front two legs towering to the sea. God, this is like a chapter. It fixes its malevolent eyes on the High Priestess as she stands, spear thrust out in one hand, goblet in the other, head thrown back to receive her blessing. There's subtext here, right? This is an analogy. The spider spits a gout of green venom, completely coating the High Priestess. Or maybe not. She screams in horrified agony as her flesh melts away. As her bones also begin to melt, she collapses into a smoking pool of green slime to reveal Kim's face looking on in horror. The spear and goblet fall to the ground, and the goblet rolls up to Kim's feet, still with some smoking green glowing acid liquid inside it. A few drops spill out and hiss and spark as they melt into the rock. Welcome to the rock. I don't know if anyone gets that reference. Welcome to the rock. Where did we get to? The spider starts to shoot more venom at screaming cultists who are trying to run away. Kim stretches out her leg, hooks her foot under the goblet and flicks it upright through the air past her face, and she manages to grab the base by the tips of her fingers. The goblet wobbles unsteadily as she barely holds on, the acid sloshing around and almost spilling onto her tense, upturned face. She gets a firmer grip and tips the liquid onto the lock of the manacles. They smoke and melt, and Kim bursts free, somersaulting away as a gout of venom strikes the rock where she had been held. In slow motion, Kim flips and twists through the air as gouts of venom shoot past, just missing her, until she backflips into cover behind a large rock. Pressing her back into it, she peers around the side. The spider is now shooting webs which cocoon fleeing cultists. A trailing thread then yanks them up onto the spider's bloated abdomen. Kim ducks back out of sight. We realise a cultist is also behind the rock, peering around the other side, and he also ducks back. They are side by side as they notice each other. The cultist grins nervously. Cut to the cultist tumbling out from behind the rock, propelled by Kim's boot. He is hit by a flying web and enveloped, then yanked through the air to stick to the spider's body next to a row of other cocoons. They each have dinner plate-sized spiders all over them. The cocoon squirms as more of these spiders swarm all over it, sinking their fangs in. Kim emerges from behind the rock at a sprint, running at the huge spider. She snatches up the spear and, planting one end on the plinth without breaking stride, pole vaults to fly through the air towards the spider's mouth, spear end first. With terrible speed, the spider reacts, firing a web at her. I've started, so I gotta finish. Kim twists, but it wraps around her legs. Just as the thread is about to yank her up, she slashes through it with the spear and falls into the pit. The web around her legs catches on an outcrop of rock, and she bounces around. The spear flies from her hand. No, no, no! Kim catches the spear as it drops. Above her, the spider starts to climb down the pit walls towards her. Take a vacation. Kim is using the spear to saw at the web holding her legs. It'll be relaxing. Is that... Oh my god, is there not any conclusion? For fuck's sake. How long have I been reading that? 3 minutes? There's not even any... Oh, for goodness sake. I thought, come on, we're going into so much detail here. It's got to... This seems like it's basically the whole script for the film.
Locked.
So it's got to conclude.
More buttons.
That's well frustrating. Have I ever read fanfic? I have read some. Like I never got super into it. I never read anything long. And it was, I think it was the only thing I've ever read was like Fallout 4 character stuff. And it wasn't super detailed, it wasn't super long. But that was cool. But I've never actually read like anything on is AO3, right? Anything long that's like longer than a few paragraphs. It's really cool though, and I've known people that have been into it as like writers and as consumers, and it's I'm all for it. Where are we headed? I feel like this is taking us in a circle. Maybe will that get rid of the... Ah, that's good thinking. Good thinking. Here we go, folks. It's all coming together. I've read as well out of curiosity rather than out of enjoyment. Like, I remember there was a lot of like My Chemical Romance or like 21 Pilots, stuff like that, like band related. And I have not been into that, but I've been as like being in the fandom for bands like that. I've wanted to keep up with like what people were referencing on the subreddit or whatever. So I've, out of curiosity, I've skim read some stuff that's been like, if someone shared the link and said, oh, this is super weird, like I might have clicked through it a bit, I don't know. But I've never been really super into it. Mainly because I think the only reason that the only way I can really consume books now is as audiobooks. That's the only way that I can realistically get through like fiction, which sucks because I used to read so much. And obviously, if it's like a fanfic that someone's written and uploaded, there's probably not going to be an audiobook version. And yeah, technically, I guess you could cut and paste it into some kind of text-to-speech thing, but that's... Ooh, are we interrupting? It's the kick. The kick is hands down the best thing that we can do. Any type of zombie, it feels like, is vulnerable to a kick would be super effective, right, if it's Pokemon. Well, oh, please don't let this be another long one. Oh, fuck me. Okay. I don't know what film this is for, though. So. Exterior, Canal Bank, day. Lisa Fenton leans against the graffiti-covered wall of an abandoned warehouse. The ground around her is strewn with trash and discarded drug paraphernalia. She idly stirs the refuse with her foot as she puffs on her usual imitation cigarette vape. Gunn walks rapidly towards her, glancing around to ensure they are alone. Seeing him, Fenton pockets her vape and pushes off the wall to stand, hands in pockets, facing him. She smiles awkwardly. This is where you bring all your girls. Gunn ignores the attempt to lighten the mood. He hesitates, uncharacteristically uncertain, then gets angry with himself. You got the results. Fenton pulls an envelope from her pocket and holds it out of easy reach. She searches Gunn's eyes. You sure you want to know? Gunn reaches forward and grabs the envelope. He stares at it, then angrily rips it open and pulls out and reads a sheet of paper. His eyes dart back and forth across the page. A weird bite of chicken. It, like, you get a weird bit and it kind of grosses you out, and then you're like, oh my god, what am I doing? Because that's what happened the last time I had beef, like a decade ago. Hang on, lady. Congratulations, you're a daddy. Gunn stares in shock. He slowly folds the paper and puts it in his pocket. Could I be wrong? Fenton shakes her head slowly. 99.9 certain according to the doc. Gunn leans against the wall, turning to look across the water. Fenton moves to lean next to him, shooting a glance at him, trying to gauge his mood. Oh, what's she like? What? Are we going into like Italian or some shit? I think that's enough with the voices. I can't do this. I broke into her place and swiped some hairs from the tub. I didn't stick around to introduce myself. Fenton smiles to herself. I'd say she prioritizes personal grooming. Gunn stares at her in disbelief. Fenton sighs. Okay, look. I ran her through the computer, found her file. Gunn frowns. She's got a record? Fenton answers a little reluctantly, like she doesn't want to reveal all she knows. Fenton. Nope, she's a cop, like father, like daughter. Gunn stares at her. Gunn. Which bureau? Fenton bites her lip. You're not gonna like it. Fenton pulls out another piece of paper and hands it to Gunn, who scans it. He drops his hand in shock and stares at Fenton, who winces. I told you wouldn't like it. Oh my god, they've done it again. They've done it again. What did it say? I've just read that shit out. Like, start to finish. What was on the bloody bit of paper, for goodness sake? For goodness sake. I wouldn't care if I hadn't spent the time reading it out. If I wasn't streaming, that wouldn't bother me in the slightest, because I just would have read it in my head and then moved on. But, I mean, Jesus, I did, very briefly, I did voices. As you can tell, my talent is not in, dramatic readings. I don't think this is the place we're supposed to go, but I'm not going to turn down free loot. Oh. That's breakable, right? Have we been through here? I feel like we've been through here. That 100% looks breakable. Yeah, there we go. I knew it. What do we have here then? More generic supplies. Ooh, Space Fox prop chest. Oh, it's just a crow. Oh, I thought it was going to be some cool, like, Hollywood movie prop weapon or something. Because they haven't really gone to that wacky place yet. Which, for anyone that's played the first game, it's very violent and bloody, as is this game. But it's also a bit... It's got that, like, B-movie charm. It's kind of a little bit meta, a little bit poking fun at the zombie genre. It's like, if anyone knows of a show called Z Nation, technically I should pronounce it Z Nation, but Z Nation. It's essentially like The Walking Dead, but slightly less serious. Some of it is just as serious, just as action-packed, just as well-produced, just as emotional as The Walking Dead. But there's also a scene, for example, where a character is trapped in what you would call like an elevator shaft with a zombie, and proceeds to get extremely stoned and get the zombie stoned. That you wouldn't find in The Walking Dead. And Dead Island as a series reminded me of that. It's serious in probably most of the time. It's serious.
Footprints. How kind of it.
Whether it's going for a horror vibe or an action vibe or a post-apocalyptic vibe or whatever. But there's also those over-the-top moments, those light-hearted moments, and yeah, like that B-movie kind of innocent charm, I suppose. And so far they haven't really done any of that in this game. There's been a couple of things like
Please tell me you didn't
a couple of
go down there,
voice
mind you.
lines and stuff, but it definitely hasn't gone where I thought it was going to yet. This is more like it though, getting to the Hollywood set and the zombies in the costumes and shit like that. Yeah, that nasty ass, yeah, and then see, I then sit there afterwards thinking, like, so what the fuck was that? Was that a bit of, like... Was that a piece of cartilage? Was that a bit of, like, stringy vein? Oh, please tell me. Logan Carter, that, I think, is another one of the... player characters from the first game. There's, what's his name, Sam something, the guy that was a rapper that we physically met in this game. He's the one that told us that we were immune, but he's the only one that's appeared out of the 4 player characters. But I'm 90% sure Logan Carter was the other male protagonist you could choose. Sports section. Oh. Now, how's this for a throwback? Remember Logan Carter? In the mid-2000s, he was the talk of the football world. After a nail-biter in the 2004 playoffs, the young quarterback looked set to lead the Texans to an unstoppable championship run. That is, of course, until his career and the hopes of Texan fans ended in a drunken car wreck that saw him shatter his leg in six, and tragically kill his young female passenger. Well, if you can remember him, you might not recognise him now. After seemingly fallen off the face of the earth, he's been spotted at a gas station in Montana. That's right, he's back behind a wheel. Hell, we weren't even sure if it was him at first, but those tattoos are a dead giveaway. If you don't want to be recognised, Mr. Carter, we would advise trying out some concealer or longer sleeves. We know it's not the big leagues, but who would have thought playing in Canada would take such a visible toll on a man? What crimes against football has he seen up there? Carter was voted the sexiest Texan back in 2004, but with his new beard and complete stylectomy, we don't think Texan fans will be racing back to the polls for him ever again. But look on the bright side, Logan. That is one cute doggy you've got in that truck window. That's a bit mean. But yeah, so, because that's, he was there in the zombie apocalypse as Sam B and the two female protagonists. I think one might have been called Amy. And then the other one, I don't know. I only played through that once as Sam B. It's like with this game, I know there's people, the big fans of this game, that have played through it entirely with every character. Which is, I guess, the good thing about having a fully voiced protagonist. And, I mean, they do have some playstyle differences. I don't really know to what extent that goes. I mean, the game play itself is the same. It's just like, some are better throwing weapons, some are better dodging, some are better, like, with the heavy attacks, like Danny is. Oh god, there's two of those bloody giant ones. Fudge. That did absolutely piss all. Can't beat a kick. Oh god. I mean, we do have 2 first aid kits, which is more than we did earlier. But 2 of them and the Bernie guy, I don't really like our chances here, I'm afraid. Is that acid? No, that's paint. Oh, for goodness sake. The one time it's not the bloody acid. I guess we should get our good weapons out, right? Otherwise we are effed in the A. And I guess this guy's crouched down so we could, oh god, we're about to get whooped again. Sugar. Well, we got our ninja stars back. Try the old improvised grenade thing. Seems to have burnt his clothes off more than anything else. He's looking a bit naked. I mean, this guy is huge. He probably has a gigantic penis. Even as a zombie, that guy is packing. Although, I mean, it's steroids, right? They don't like bodybuilders that use steroids. They have, for lack of a better word, they have dick problems. Because it fucks with the hormones and stuff. I think. I don't. And as you can probably tell, I am not a voice actor. You could probably tell that during the reading. You can also probably tell I am not a bodybuilder. So I don't. I've done more than my share of drugs and substances, but I have not ever had steroids. Not that is like a... It's sort of in a different category, right? It's still drugs, but it's not mood... I guess it is mood altering. Just not in as direct a way. I don't know. I was pretty jacked at one point. When I went from underweight anorexic to like obsessing the other way and trying to get muscly. And then I was just like, fuck all of this. All of that's like disordered.
Looks
None
like
of that's
Michael was being
healthy.
chased. Ran out through
Even
this
though I
door
guess
and
you
used
are
the stick
being
to
healthy.
barricade it behind him.
Your brain isn't being healthy about it. And now I am neither underweight nor muscly. I don't want to get stuck back in here because it's like a bloody maze trying to get around here. You threw the thing out because it's... I mean, I don't blame you. It's what I would have done as well. But it's frustrating because it sounds like something that like took a bit of effort, right? It wasn't like grab a... I don't know, you actually had to like cook things and put it together. It's like the cake I did for my dad's birthday. I put effort into it and it was shite. So it's... If I hadn't put in any effort, it wouldn't matter, but I kind of upped my own expectations a bit. Because even if it didn't look great, it was still cake, right? It's still fresh homemade cake. How bad can that be? But disappointing. Honestly, I think that's my reaction. Anytime I bake something that's relatively cheap, it seems to turn out well. But anytime I have to buy say it's like something related to Biscoff, right? If I spend £5 for a jar of that to include in whatever it is, then I'll do it and you won't be able to taste it and they'll be super dry and I'll be like, fuck's sake. Wait, I mean, I guess that's sod's law again, right? Have we checked everywhere here? I don't know. Opens from the... Fuck. I thought it was telling us to go back on ourselves because that was the right way. Oh, for goodness sake. You are having a bloody laugh. Yeah, we can't get... Fuck's sake. Oh my god. I'm never going to be able to find our way back now. Yeah, it's not as simple as just open... Because we picked up a key, didn't we? It's still saying the objective's here. But then you get here and it says, no, you can't... So, am I supposed to ignore the objective marker? I don't know. We defo can't get out there. Which I thought maybe that would be what it was. But, oh, now we're going to get stuck in here again. Oh. Well annoying. I mean, I don't think the zombies have respawned, which is a blessing in disguise. I guess not a blessing in disguise, it's just a blessing. I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that, I think. And the baton I've used before and it's terrible. What time is it? I am gonna have to go pretty soon. Because I want to be focused for Soma tomorrow. I want to have my brain working better. And honestly, this has kind of fucked me off. Because I'm now lost in all this shit again, retracing my steps. Honestly, if I was gonna bet, I would say that what's actually gonna happen is we're gonna get all the way to the end of where I'm trying to get. Then there's going to be nothing there, and I'll realise, oh shit, we actually were supposed to go right back to the start, and I missed some tiny, like, latch that we had to undo, or some bullshit like that. That is just the sort of crap that will happen. And if that happens, I'm gonna rage quit. I don't rage quit games. The only time I did it, I think I did it once when I played Dark Souls. Which Dark Souls is another thing I'd love to play. I've played and finished the original. I've never played Dark Souls 2. I've never played Dark Souls 3. I've never played Dark Souls Remastered. I've never played Bloodborne, but I can't play that because that's on PlayStation only. And I've never played... oh my god, what's it called? Oh my goodness, what's it called? The open world, the most recent Souls game. Oh, what's it called? The one a shitload of awards. Oh my god, what's it called? Elden Ring. That's another series that in theory I am fully planning on playing at some point. But yeah, playing the first Dark Souls, Ornstein and Smaug, if anyone knows that boss fight, that is the only game I've ever played that I've ever been genuinely like, I've rage quit, I've fucking shouted. Oh my god, that game was not good for my health.
Either be smart or just plain clumsy.
Here we go.
Please tell me you didn't go down there.
This looks like
monkey.
the right way. Ooh. Oh, is this a shortcut we've just unlocked? I think. Although that requires us to keep track of where we are. And... oh, oopsie daisy. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, crumbs. Ooh. Hello. No kisses from you, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, I got 9 minutes till I have to do the party thing again. So I won't do that for what would it be, third time or fourth time tonight. So I'll kind of wind things down. Oh, another golf club. I've never played golf. It's supposed to be a really relaxing thing. I've never love to try playing golf one day. Pretty sure I would hate it, but and I think more than anything I'd hate the pomp and the like faux fanciness. Ooh, wallet, yes please. But yeah, so I think tomorrow I'm going to be playing some more of Soma. Again, that may well change. I might end up playing Red Dead. Because I did mention it's officially been a whole week since I played that last. And I miss Arthur. So we'll see what I feel like tomorrow.
Maybe I'm not the only one following Michael.
That doesn't sound good. But thank you to everyone that's hung out. Thank you to everyone that watches this tomorrow or further in the future. Although usually it is the next day. I hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow in the time before I stream. Hopefully when I'm streaming I'll be saying I made brownies today and they are really nice. Touch wood, that's what I'll be saying. What have we got here? Dear whomever takes out the garbage, I don't know who put in the order for this dresser, but this cliched faux mahogany will not be permitted on my set. How it could be confused with the exquisite rosewood shade I very specifically requested baffles me. Congratulations for failing to approach meeting even my exceedingly low expectations. Move it to the disposal area immediately. Thank you, Steve. How long have we got? A couple more minutes. Anyone creeping in here? No. And I will be posting, as usual, I'll be posting a moment from... It would be either... I don't think there's going to be any from the Soma the first time I played that. Because, like I said, it was mostly like menus and reading, and I guess a bit like tonight. I also I have a clip that I've half done from the Walking Dead game. So I might post that. I don't know. But if you're interested, keep an eye out on TikTok and YouTube, because I'll be posting them at some point during the day. And if you want me to play something in particular, if you wake up tomorrow and you feel like you're in the mood for some cowboys or some aliens or some hardcore horror or whatever, please let me know, because I am more than happy to play any of the games that we've played on stream, or any of the games that I've mentioned, something like Skyrim or Oblivion Remastered that I've spoken a bunch about, and I've said that I do want to eventually play on stream, but I just haven't started yet. I am all ears if you have any preferences, so just let me know tomorrow. Otherwise I'll be going with my gut. How long? Yeah, okay. So, I'm going to call it here, I think. I'm just... Oh, fuck's sake. Of course we missed it. What a way to end the evening. Oh, for goodness sake. But thank you everyone for hanging out as always. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for everyone, and especially the new subscriber, Thomas, that I mentioned. Hey dude, if you happen to be watching right at the end of this. And thank you to everyone else. Thank you in general for being awesome. I love you very, very, very much. And I wouldn't have the confidence to be vulnerable doing this without you. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's always fun hanging out. Even when we're kind of failing.